Guys don't do too well, okay? Yeah, other girls got it good. Well, all right, here we
That's
go.
all right. We're gonna be late bloomers.
That's what I'm
Neighbor and I
hoping, dude. I'm hoping. I was telling Eric last time we reviewed. I'm hoping like our financial situation like just goes parabolic like one day.
it has to.
I feel like once we build the
Or else
confidence in the trading, I was thinking we're gonna have to develop like a disciplined plan on how to like save it all. Like not immediately be like quit our jobs. All right, I don't need the job money no more. But then
Oh, I got plans.
tight, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
he's like,
Yeah.
I'm quitting. The first day I get $100.
Instead of going more,
I see that.
instead of going two
That third.
contracts after 3 months, he's gonna just quit his job.
I was just gonna say that.
I don't need you guys no more. I'm 3 months positive. I got $80.
Hey, for sure though. Once we find consistency, we need to get those steaks, man. I don't know if you know Eloy, but we're gonna get some good ass steaks.
To eat?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
To celebrate, you gotta come, man.
We're going to Claremont
You could
tomorrow.
even buy your dog a steak because you'll be so rich.
Yeah, I'm gonna get like those $200 T-bone steaks, like those fancy ass ones
The
with the
tomahawk.
gold on them and shit. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
The tomahawk steaks.
Tomahawk, yeah, that one. Those
He
ones.
doesn't even know what it's called. He's so broke.
He's been broke
I'm
longer
not
than
even gonna
he's.
know the difference of the taste or anything. I'm just gonna be like, that's good.
There's a song that Anderson Paak does. I think it's called Bubblin', and I think he did it because he finally started making money. And he has like a bunch of lines that I always rethink in my head. Where he says, "I've been broke longer than I've been rich," and like there's like a whole rhyme to it, but that one stood out. Where it's like, damn, even when we start making money, we've been broke longer than we've been rich. And then another line he says is, "R.I.P. to the times that I was broke."
I can't wait to make my rap and say that shit too. Yeah.
All right. On for Thursday, I don't know if you guys seen the post I put in the main chat, but it was in regards to like knowing that the day could turn into a falling knife day by seeing how the buying was instantly getting like slammed down, and it was aggressive buying that was occurring. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
I didn't
So
remember.
like I don't have the first 5 minutes because my Instagram, my fucking bookmap had froze, so I shut it off and turned it back on. But here's that 6:34. We get this strong push up, instantly slams. Strong push up, instantly slams. Every bind just quickly gets smacked down. Even right here, you can see buying is building up, but they just cannot get any momentum to the upside. And I had seen Carmine mention that, but it's kind of hard to see to automatically say that like 5 minutes into the open. So you do kind of need to let it develop a little more. Uh, but that is one thing to point out to yourself. I also wanted to see what the VX was right at the. That's another key thing, like seeing the VX aggressively start to bounce, especially off of 4 hour demand. I didn't even consider that. That like it was hitting a 4 hour demand for the first time in regular trading hours here. So the fact that it can quickly bounce off of that, I did overlook that. But seeing it rally up as we're getting these slams could be a sign of like, okay, uh, keep your guard up. Especially the fact that we weren't at any key demands here. I mean, this was a 4 hour pre market, but it wasn't like a key area. It was in the middle of this 4 hour supply, and that uh, the resistance that was then supposed to become support. To be honest, if we didn't have VX rising like that and sellers weren't so aggressive, I think that 2-hour demand would have held as support, but sellers just took over.
Dylan had a
But
key
see,
level for VX. I don't know if you saw it.
what was that?
Dylan had a key level for VX 21.6. That if VX passes it, then we can keep selling on ES.
Oh, okay. Did we end up passing it?
No, we double topped it. That's why he's pointed out.
Oh, okay.
So it's new resistance.
I'm just looking at. So just observing the buy in here, like here we got aggressive pop, quickly slam down. Buyers tried one more time, but it does not make a higher high. And just every time it reaches, like it tries to push higher, the aggressiveness of the sellers is just so much stronger. Even just looking at this right here, you can see this selling is the strongest of all of it. Even looking at the volume bars, I did have the 6951. Oh shit, it's
The
up here.
specifics that you're pointing out right now, like CBD and volume, I wonder if that ever occurs and it not be the outcome that we're about to see right now.
Say that again?
Like the way you're saying, there's the most volume is red, and CBD can't break that zero. All the buy-ups keep getting sold off. I think I said that right. But I'm just wondering, do these hints or these little things we're looking at sometimes also occur with the opposite thing happening? Like, because right now we're
Well,
about
yeah,
to.
that's absorption. But the thing that is key here is the fact that it's not just like sellers came down aggressively and then buyers are trying to take control and CBD. The main point before we even acknowledge that is the fact that every time buyers try to push up, sellers aggressively shut them down. Like this area here where you're seeing this the a pop, sellers push it down. A pop, sellers push it down. Buyers try to build up here. Sellers aggressively push it down. You don't assume that it's going to be a falling knife, but just be like, okay, sellers are really trying to take control here. So then here is where I think I took. I'm trying to remember where I took my long because I got long here off the 4-hour demand. Let me pull up my journal one sec. Uh,
Hey, do you put the Valiant profile screenshot from the day before or the market close?
The day before. You know how I do those session the
Yeah,
pre-markets?
yeah, I
I post
assume.
that
Okay, I got confused.
oh, this one. Okay, so I got this is what we're looking on the book map I just had up. This is kind of the same screenshot. So the first thing to realize is one, VX was rising off of that 4-hour demand. So that already and it was pushing aggressively. So that already tells us that okay, be cautious of getting long because VX is aggressively bouncing off the 4-hour demand. You can't tell right now because we're not watching VX in real time, but when the market opened, even looking at this first candle, this is the 15-minute candle, it aggressively tried to hit the VWAP. So once it got aggressive and tried to hit VWAP, me trying to long a B minus 4-hour demand zone without seeing acceptance is a super red flag. That was the main thing I just ignored. The fact that VX was rising, what was the number? The reason I did try it was because I was like, "Oh, it's under 20. Maybe I don't need the acceptance." But ChatGPT pointed out that just because it's at 19 and under 20 doesn't necessarily mean not to uh, require acceptance. The fact that it's bouncing aggressively off a demand zone, that now, and especially at a B minus zone, that tells you like, okay, be cautious of not requiring acceptance. You in that circumstance, you would require acceptance. So already not seeing acceptance above the 4-hour demand is a red flag. That plus what I mentioned about the aggressive buyers try to push and sellers instantly keep pushing it down. Those 3 things right there are telling you like, okay, don't try to long this right away. So it bounced, 3-point bounce, that's another red flag. At a 19 VX zone with a 3-point bounce, that's kind of like stupid of me. Uh, in reality, I should have let it do this, and if I were even gonna attempt it without acceptance, and then try to get long on this retest here. Because a 3-point bounce would be more valid at like a VX of 16 or something.
So what's the minimum bounce you want?
About 5 to 6.
But what you get, but if you get 5 to 6 and it doesn't reclaim, would you enter? Are you still
With
consider it?
the with what I mentioned, considering what I mentioned before, um, I would want the reclaim and acceptance.
Uh,
The main reason why I would want the reclaim and acceptance, to be honest, is the fact that VX was aggressively bouncing off of a 4-hour demand.
okay.
If VX was just chilling, dropping into the demand, then a quick, not requiring acceptance would be more acceptable. But also, this is a lower, B minus 4-hour pre-market zone, so that would be more of a scalp scenario. I think I even mentioned that in the beginning of the morning, where I was like, if I do get long at this 4-hour demand, it's going to be a scalp, not like expecting a longer target.
Uh,
So I got this 3-point bounce, because I'm not sure why I considered this to be a valid bounce, to be honest. I think I was just focused on the limit orders and I was like, oh shit, it's coming back to the limit orders. And then I was hesitant because I was like, I don't know if this is it. I probably did consider the fact that it was a 3-point bounce, but then I seen the pop and I got emotional and I just got long. But once I got long, I realized like, fuck, I didn't get the acceptance. Uh, and then I was like, it's most likely gonna reverse here if it doesn't reclaim. And then sure enough, it tries to reclaim here, but instantly again, that same idea, even right here, every time the buyers try to come in, they drop it. They drop it. Anytime buyers try to step in, they just instantly put pressure on them and drop it lower. But I was like, I'm just gonna stick to my plan, and I ended up getting stopped out.
mm.
So like as far as see like this, I can't be too upset with myself. I mean, obviously there's red flags that should have warned me, but when I try a trade like this, like I can't be too upset with myself leaving when I walk away because I'm just like, okay, like my confirmations were there. I just didn't read the what the market was telling me prior to me getting in. So I don't really consider this like a super bad attempt. Now, if there wasn't any limit orders or like if there wasn't a higher low, then yeah, I'd be pissed at myself. But I just need to I feel like this is a learning lesson where it's like, okay, be aware there was an acceptance. Sellers were aggressively putting pressure on buyers. VX was rising and the 3-point bounce. Those are like the 3 main errors I'd say here. But as I'm saying it, it's kind of like, damn, like there's a lot of things to consider.
All at once.
And yeah, but I
And quick.
definitely, yeah, I definitely chased this a bit too. As soon as that feeling came in, I should have just stood down. But I mean, that's
I know
me.
exactly what the fuck you're talking about. What this sucked.
So then, I mean, we could watch it in real time here too.
Hey, when you guys review, do you guys look for setups that could have happened during the day? You know what I mean? Like, do you?
No,
Oh no.
I'm like, unless I've seen it in real time, I'm not really focused on hindsight stuff because I don't want to overcomplicate it for myself. When I review, most of my review is like finding out what my errors were. because even though it may have been a good attempt, I want to know what am I missing so that if I see it happen again, like that reinstills in my head, like I reviewed this already. I know I've seen this happen and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I feel like I just
So
go
right
straight
here
to
we're
the zone.
getting. Go ahead.
I'll just forward it straight to the zone to see the action that happened in the zone when I review.
Do you like
Yeah.
look at what was happening prior to you getting in and stuff like that?
I haven't. I guess what I thought absorption was me just waiting to see what happens when it hits my zone, and the things I used to look out for were like if I want to reverse at a demand, I needed like an aggressive sell off. Like this is like the old stuff we used to pay attention to, and then now I'm
Yeah.
just trying to see what absorption looks like based on what we've been learning the last couple of weeks. But in live,
I do.
I've been noticing live patterns that have been standing out to me that make me want to go review them. But I'm like, no, stick to the plan. Like, don't try to start finding new things. You haven't even mastered this setup.
Yeah, we gotta master the first one.
Yeah, because even like just going over this right now, you can see like there's a lot of things to consider. So if you layer something else on top of it, it's like there's other things you have to consider in that setup. So that's why I don't do that.
Although I won't
Each
The
lie,
setup
reason
has
I
its own
do
nuance.
shallow pullbacks is because it's happening at our key zones a lot of times, like at a 4 hour demand zone or a 2 hour. So I'm like, okay, I want to know the difference of like when I'm seeing absorption and when I'm seeing a shallow pullback.
Yeah.
But I mean, here I'm seeing the bounce off 45, and like I've said before, I'll try to calculate it while it's happening. Like, okay, this is 3 points right here, and then I'm watching it come back, and the limit order appears. That's another thing that I'm battling with. I'm like, damn, like if it's not there when it comes back and it starts to appear as it's getting closer like this, that could be like maybe you should like hold off a bit. Because when limit orders are truly there to absorb price, most of the time, like they're gonna be sitting there for sure. Like it'll try to break through it, and like it's just a solid red line that just doesn't break it at all. Other times it will appear like it'll be a gap and then it'll reappear, but as it's rallying, like that limit order is just still stuck there. Like they're not budging at all from clearing. Whereas in this case, it was like slowly coming in. It's trying to like build up. It's kind of like not very strong. See how it like gets white? Like
Yeah.
that's sketchy. Now I'm not saying those don't work. It's just be aware of that. And then here I get this bounce, and I'm like, damn, is this it? It pulls back a little bit, and then I just got in on that push there, thinking, oh, this is it. But like I said, that acceptance didn't occur.
So you would
And then the
accept acceptance before the rally?
say that again?
You would accept acceptance before the rally, before the reclaim?
Well, this because I know sometimes you're like, this is you don't know if this is a reclaim, but say it did this and then buyers built up here rather than down here, then that's a reclaim acceptance.
Oh,
Like it obviously this push here is not strong. So this clearly is not acceptance. But if it did this and it was a little stronger and then I seen
uh,
the
yeah.
the buyers up here and then this happened, then I'd be like, okay, this is more valid.
Yeah.
But as I was in the trade now, I was seeing these limit orders up here build up and I was just like, fuck, this isn't gonna. And I'm battling with like, should I exit if I'm seeing that or should I hold it? Because if I exit and then it works out, I'm gonna be pissed at myself too.
I know, man. This whole thing's a mind fuck.
But even right now, you can see like buyers are just getting slammed down from fucking the selling. aggressive buy there, try to reclaim, and just instantly gets slammed down.
Could you like rewind it a little bit and see what the slam down looks like in real time? Because you said it and it was like going fast, but I'm like, what does that look like in real time? Even though I know, I just want to see this example.
Reclaim. It's about a reclaim here.
And then it's a lower high, huh?
Oh yeah, because the high's up here. That's the previous high.
I probably would have taken this shit right there.
That's where I'm saying like that limit order retest is the bread and butter of it. What I've been doing, like I think of it like as a basketball player, like if the limit order is that retest of the limit order isn't there, that's me taking the shot off balance. But if the limit order is there on the retest, that's me having my feet like both down on the ground, ready to shoot.
Oh yes.
I've been fucking thinking of trading a lot like basketball, to be honest.
Cody, man.
I just need a visual like analogy to compare it.
Yeah.
That was the slam down though. I didn't even pay attention to it. Did you catch it,
Yeah,
Eli?
I was watching it. Outside of like the aggressive momentum, it's just you can tell by like it went down and then it had that tiny little spike up underneath the green line and then it just kept going down. It's not necessarily how fast it does it, but what it looks like.
Yeah. Especially the fact that the buys were so aggressive and like no buying followed that up is just a red flag. But then I got stopped out on this top here.
I think when this was your first trade, I think when you got stopped,
Yeah.
we what we were studying the day before, we said I think I was saying that I'm keep catching this mistake because I keep getting stopped. Where
Acceptance.
what was I? No, like I might have tried to see that the limit orders were that first low on the screen, and
Yes.
then yeah, so I would have thought, all right, that's where I need to see the retest, but I've seen myself, all right, I'm going to get in when it gets back to those limit orders at that location, and then I get stopped by even more than what my stop would have been, or how do I say it? Like what my stop would have been the first time when it comes back down like it did. I need to make my stop bigger because I've seen it like go through my stop and then reverse.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, in a high VX, that definitely would happen. Because think of it like when it's high VX, volatility is more present. So when it drops down, those sellers are gonna try to push a little lower and then the buyers will get back in control. Just because the volatility is so strong, it's able to wick down a bit and then build that momentum to the upside. Whereas in a it doesn't happen all the time, but it's more likely in a high VX, it does happen. And although we were under 20, like I mentioned earlier, we were bouncing aggressively off of a 4-hour demand on VX. So that could be a sign that volatility is starting to step in.
And then it can't break
And
below
then
zero.
once it came down here, I was like, damn, is this gonna well, I was getting out of the position, but it's more obvious at the 90-minute. I'll mention it there instead. But see, even here, buyers try to pop and just sellers slam them down. Let me mark this. 69.26.
I wish they saved their levels per date.
Every
I
time.
know.
Every time. The only thing that's saved for me is that weekly that Eric mentioned a while back, that weekly demand. Instead of making a box for it, I just made a line that was like 7 or 8 thickness. And then that the lines stay, it's the boxes that don't stay.
She made a big fat line.
Yeah. So that's the weekly. But have you noticed that like the lines will stay, it's just the boxes that go away?
Yeah, I have to clear my shit every day.
The only thing that stays on for me is my 2 yellow yesterday high and yesterday low, and then my pre-market low and pre-market high, and I just adjust them every morning.
Yeah.
And again, buyers push, sellers slam. Buyers push, sellers slam. So already by this point, you can start to say, okay, sellers are really taking over the market here because for the past 15, 20 minutes, they've just been slamming buyers down, breaking through a zone easily.
So what are we supposed to understand about how long this like seller absorption is going on? Like it's not telling us that it's going to have a dropping knife effect, right?
Um, Wait, you said salary absorption is going on. What do you mean by that? Because
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
know
know
if
if you're
that's the
using that.
correct way to say that, but like the way you're saying, like we're seeing clear seller presence with all of the buy ups that keep getting
Oh,
slammed down.
uh, because of how aggressive the selling is, if you get in on the first bounce at a key level where limit orders are, you're being the first buyer because here clearly sellers are in control and buyers are not able to do anything at all. So say we come down into this 90-minute demand and you get in on the first pop without acceptance or reclaim, most likely you're gonna get stopped because you're being that first buyer, which is what happened to me down here. It's not I'm not saying necessarily be like, okay, this is a falling knife day. Although Carmine did say that very early on, he was like, if this selling keeps occurring with the buyers, this could be a falling knife day. I just don't know how soon you can state that, but just be cautious that if it does come down to your zone with this kind of action occurring on that first pop, you're most likely going to be the first buyer. So it's a sign to be more patient when it gets to your zone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What are we looking for here? What are we seeing?
Right now it's coming down to the 90-minute demand, this white box.
Okay. Was there absorption where it rose up through that consolidation at the bottom where it rallied?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to point out something about the 90-minute here.
Oh.
But I don't remember what it is. I'm trying to think. uh, so it still had. Wait, yeah, it did hit. So 69.25 here is the first bounce of the limit order. Shit, let me slow it down. 69.23 to 69.33, so a 10-point bounce. CBD just made a new low, but it's bouncing. It rallied off of that bounce also. Oh yeah, it was why when it came down to the limit orders, it wasn't a sign to enter. because I was tempted to enter, but I avoided it, and I'm trying to see why.
You're still looking for longs?
Yeah, like this whole time, because we're at the 90-minute demand zone, I was like, okay, now we're at this was a key zone for me because it was previous resistance. Oh, let me put the yesterday's low because that
Hey,
was
that's the
fun.
structure. That's the structure demand, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't it in an LVN?
yeah.
Exactly. ChatGPT said it was in a HVN, but you might have been
Did
right
you?
because price went straight through it.
I I considered it to be a valid zone, and what tricked me, to
Yes.
be honest here, was that I was seeing a reclaim here off above yesterday's low, and then it started accepting above yesterday's low, which I was like, okay, like buyers are trying to. Fuck, why isn't it letting me move? Oh, I was like, okay, buyers are trying to potentially push this higher, but when it came down to the limit orders, also take into consideration that the sellers were just super aggressive. So even if there's an LVN, it doesn't mean that it's gonna pop off of it. It's just this could be a potential or a high quality zone to get a long position off of. Just that if sellers take over control, then buyers just can't do anything. Just like a if you didn't if when we were first trading, when we would have like a demand zone or a supply zone, like sometimes they do work, sometimes they don't work, but if it's a higher time frame zone, it has a higher probability because trading is all about probabilities. It's not 100% because you have a zone here, it's going to work. But see, this to me, I was seeing it as acceptance because we reclaimed pulled back, buyers got back above, and I think they hold up above one more time here.
I think I was sketched out because CVD wasn't breaking the zero line.
Above. Oh, I didn't even pay attention. Oh, fuck, I can't see it. Damn, it was far too. And it just kept making lower highs
Yeah.
every time. I think I didn't get in just because of how aggressive it broke through. Because I was considering it. I was like, damn, this could be the long opportunity. But the way it broke through the limit orders. So that's why this is what I wanted to point out. When it comes down to the limit orders, just because it's hitting the limit orders and you're seeing a higher low doesn't mean instantly get in. Like you want to see how they're reacting on that retest to those limit orders.
We need the details of the details.
Yeah. Because when you see it come down, it's gonna slam through them, I think.
There's too much nuance in this stuff, man.
That's why uh yeah, I can't trade execute for you. Yet at least. And see it gets back above again, so I'm like, damn, like, and then look at CVD.
But zoom out a bit. What is CVD
But
relative to the history?
Struggling to break the zero line.
Yeah.
oh, I think this is what I was looking at too. I was saying, okay, this is previous resistance. This is previous resistance, and I was like, if it comes back to the limit orders and holds this previous resistance as support, then it could work. And I think it broke underneath. But still, again, like I mentioned, buyers keep getting slammed down by sellers every time.
But all three of the reclaims aren't strong to me.
Yeah, and look at how see how it, damn, I had it fast. How when it came back down to the limit orders here, if you were to be just like, oh, as soon as it taps it, I'm gonna get in long, you're instantly gonna get stopped. But when it taps it, it just breaks it. So instantly, I'm like, okay, this is invalid.
Oh yeah, you're not taking that.
It's right here is where you see Eric's message say, "I'm long." And then for the first few seconds, I'm like, did I miss out on something?
You take it.
So then here it's just a fucking falling knife all the way down to the lows.
I just hate that it rallies in between the demand zones. Like, what are we even doing this for?
But look at how close they are too. So and
It makes
then
no sense to me, man.
let me see the LVN here.
Wouldn't the rallies
Look at the
be...
LVN here. Shit. Time for me to wake up. Look at the LVN here. Yes, we have the LVN starts to happen under this 69, I mean 68.99, I believe it was, where this fall off starts to happen. But the true like low volume area is right here, and that's in between the zones.
So what are we supposed to be looking for then? Because every time, look at the 90-minute structure. ChatGPT told me that was an HVN. What is an LVN, dude? Every time I pick a demand zone, it looks exactly like the ones that are in your boxes in
Well, I don't
ChatGPT.
know what the fuck ChatGPT told you this was a HVN for because I don't see no HVN at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless your box was a little
My
higher.
my box was exactly your. I made sure it was your exact prices. I made sure.
ChatGPT is a robot, so don't fully rely on it, but
God,
use it as a
dude.
guideline.
Everything about trading is like, hey, it could happen or can't happen. Like, just fucking.
Yes, that is what it is.
I forgot. I feel like there was like some classes we took in college that literally it wasn't about trading, but it just told us that like everything you'll learn could still be wrong. And
Oh
I,
my
dro-
god.
I dropped out of statistics. It's probably
was it
that one.
stats?
Oh,
It was.
But to me, like that just
Um,
goes with life. It's kind of like it helps you understand that there's that 1% chance that something won't go your way.
yeah, fuck, man.
all you want is to take a trade in a higher probability zone, and sometimes you're gonna take that out. Sometimes it's gonna work. More than likely, if it's a high probability area, it's gonna work. But there is gonna be those times where it's a falling knife and you get smacked in the face.
You know, it's bullshit. It could work, but you could still miss it.
Yep, that too.
Fuck, man.
I think it won't be until the future where we're already successful traders and have like a couple of months or years worth of journaling of evidence that it's going to help like mold our minds to realize, yeah, like 100% accurate is not a thing. It's all about like, look at all these wins I have, but like they were not always A plus setups or no, or maybe look at these losses in my A plus setups, but look at all the wins in my A plus setups. And then it's just going to be like, it's
Yeah.
more of a probability thing, not necessarily a guarantee. And then I think you control your emotion by being like, I don't care when I lose. Like, I understand what this is now.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Carmine's month so far. Like he's taking his setups, and I don't know how often he's taking his setups right now, but he's taking losses right now. 30,000 for the
Dude, he said he let like 5-figure trades go break even on him.
that's crazy.
Holy shit.
Crazy, dude.
What's in that water in Dubai?
Did you watch his video he put out?
No, I'm gonna watch it.
I saw he posted it, but I didn't watch it.
Need to watch it.
Is he
See
crying?
see the pain he goes through.
There's a look on, yeah, like there's a look on the, whatever you call that image of the video where he kind of looks sad.
I know.
So now that it had the falling knife, now you really, especially seeing this drop, and then what Gabriel pointed out, like when we got here, he said the market had fallen 91 points. That already tells you like, okay, when buyers come in as support, you need to be patient for the actual setup because now you're definitely gonna be a first buyer on that first bounce.
Yeah. I need to tell myself that in consolidation, it always goes deeper one last time.
Yeah.
It always does that.
Even
And I always,
Carmine tried to funk here and he got stopped.
yeah, I always forget that.
So here we're hitting the 69, 68.92, 45-minute demand that I have. Limit orders are here. CVD is bouncing. But if you were to consider this uh, as a position, you'd have to be like, okay, I'm a first buyer if I use this entry here. And obviously it just doesn't work. I should draw the box. So at 68.80 is where that consolidate, that first bounce is where the consolidation began. All right, here's that test of the limit orders. CVD just made a new low. So right here, I think I started to get emotional because I was like, damn, that was an aggressive like attempt from buyers. And then I was like, okay, start considering a potential long here. But I didn't consider the fact that we dropped 91 points and I'd be the first buyer.
Did you take anything here?
Yeah, I took it at 727. But out of all the I thought it was more aggressive than I was gonna say out of all the CVD rallies, this one looks strong, but I was just too zoomed in.
Where would there or would there be a reclaim in this scenario?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, maybe 68.80 in this case, the bottom of the box.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, sure.
um,
Because that
not
becomes
like
key with consolidation.
yeah. Especially a one way to figure out like where's that reclaim area is realizing where that aggressive sell came in near the like say it comes into your zone, pay attention to where that super aggressive by the volume bar here, where that super aggressive uh
Outlier.
outlier came in. Because once you see that, then you could be like, okay, I want to see buyers hold above them.
Mm-hmm.
So here you can like already and see how in that same area sellers got aggressive again,
Mhm.
but buyers are holding above it. But here, don't like be like, okay, I'm gonna wait for this next test of the limit orders. This is where you would do that idea of like, okay, let let it consolidate and make a try to make a new low and then aggressively get back above. So say for example, I'm looking for a retest of these 6876 limit orders. It's consolidating above it. I would tell myself like, okay, let it consolidate, break under these orders, and then reclaim back above with aggression though. And CVD obviously has to be doing higher low. But yeah, we're definitely seeing reclaim above this 6880, 6879.
Is that first? Is this rally right now the little red wick?
Yeah,
Yeah, this is like way different from what we've observed like the last hour.
exactly. Now, yeah, good job pointing that out because now we're seeing buyers truly start to be like, okay, like we're gonna take control now.
I want to see how aggressively sellers push down though.
I got in on this retest here of 6877 because of these limit orders over here.
I wasn't too aggressive. It was like kind of like a grind, sort of.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because it's if it was aggressive, then the last wick before the rally would have tricked me into thinking sellers wanted it lower
Oh,
based off the aggressiveness of the first wick, but it doesn't seem too aggressive.
I got in here.
How are you feeling?
Horrible because CVD wasn't rallying. And that's where I'm saying you have to wait. Like, you don't just want to pop. You want to see CVD move with that pop also. So, like, let it test the limit order and watch CVD and the pop happen at the same time. Because that's like buyers rolling with the move. Whereas in this case, it popped and CVD just stood flat. And also considering the fact that um, we had these like super heavy limit orders down here with the volatility that we're sitting in, is just lower quality. I mean, I guess this could have been valid if I put my stop under here, but I had taken that loss previously, so I was already going to hit my max loss before even setting my stop down here. So here we see a super aggressive sell, the most aggressive we've seen at this consol or yeah, the most aggressive we've seen at this consolidation. CBD is holding a higher low. Now you can either get in on this or wait for it to get back above 6880.
This is the green wick.
Yeah, this is the move here. Oh no, I think it pulls down one more time. Damn.
Shit.
Oh, this is the first bounce. I'm tripping.
Oh, it's a first bounce. Oh shit.
Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking it was the second.
Did you have to reset because of the lower wick, or what did you like reset the whole reclaim acceptance setup?
Yeah, because This this was it was how long? Two, 7, 7 minutes of consolidation, 68.76 to 68.90. How many points is that?
14, 15?
14
Wait,
point
76?
bounce.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, hey, that's a tough one because you, like I said, you could. No, I would reset to be honest. This selling is just too aggressive to consider it a second. That's a tough one actually. I'm a little I'm a little thrown off by that.
I mean, it's all
Well,
probabilities. You either try it, it
well,
works. You try it, it doesn't.
that's true, but also take into consideration this bounce here never fully hit the limit orders. This is the true first test of these limit orders.
With an aggressive seller that couldn't
Yeah, with
continue.
an yeah, definitely. Okay, that's what I would consider. That this never truly hit the limit. If anything, I was considering this because look at the selling into this limit order. I was like, okay, this is the bounce off of here. So when it came back down, I was like, let me enter off of this limit order. But it broke through it and then became aggressive selling down at these limit orders. So now reset. This is the first bounce, and now wait for a pullback. But
You could even take the first limit order one for the aggressive seller could have worked too for a scalp. That's over. I think it's like 12 points in a rally.
yeah, true.
But we're looking for the big bucks.
But you could tell yourself, okay, I'm seeing acceptance and buyers want to push higher. You just need that full confirmation. Limit orders come back in here.
CBD broke previous resistance, first resistance.
Oh, yeah. Do take into consideration we're in high volatility, so your stop has to be a little wider.
Gotcha. Would you just pick like the next side of limit orders or what?
I would either, I mean, say we're using the 75, it would have to be under 70. It would be like a 6 point stop though.
Yeah.
But I mean, that makes sense with the volatility.
So then your target would have to be at least 12 points.
Yeah, which is reliable. Say you got in at 75 and you're targeting 68.92 or the 68 90 68.90. What is that? 68.70.
17 points.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I wonder if there was like a LVN inside of the SVP that could have just been like, oh, these are just the rally to make up for some of those limit orders that we went through.
Dude, I don't even pay attention to those anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
I do sometimes.
I don't. I'm too stressed about the volume profile to be worried about those LVNs.
But like intraday, I think SVP tells you a lot. Not like necessarily to come up with your plan, but intraday, it could be like, oh, I see a couple of LVNs. Like this might give
Oh
us
yeah,
a decent rally, but it might just tap one of those LVNs and continue the drop.
yeah, it could be used for confirmation for sure. I just struggling with the LVNs right now.
Trading is so simple, guys. How have we not figured this out yet?
It's the hardest way to make easy money, man.
So this is an 11-point bounce here off of these limit orders. Waiting for that retest into 68.75 preferably.
Every drop has been not aggressive too.
And also tell yourself you want to see a break a low a day because of the consolidation that's occurring here. So you want to see that break of the lows before you get in.
It still hasn't even hit that big wick yet.
No,
Oh, I thought that's
it's
what that
about to.
last piece was. I was like, that's not even that big. I
No, it's
missed
down
time.
at 68.70. That's why I said you would have to have your stop under 70s. These limit orders here would make sense if you got in at 68.75. Or you let it hit 68.70 and then get in on the reclaim back above
Yeah,
68.75. Depending how aggressive that buying comes back in.
because CBD is now making hires, so you'd have to just be
Hi-
like, damn, to wait for this though.
You know, it's bullshit. Most people would enter right here. CBD trailing up, buyers looking like they want it higher, limit orders holding, and then it just stops everyone out.
That's what they want you to do.
You
It's
know what's
fucking crazy,
bullshit?
man.
That we can't figure this out.
Like I'd be in right now, chilling. I'd be like, I'm long right now, guys. With fire emojis and everything.
With the 3 point stop.
You better have like
3 point
eight.
stop, yeah. Stop under 72s.
See, getting in here would be difficult because of how
Yeah,
it broke through it. So
yeah.
I would prefer the reclaim back above 75 as long as it's a strong push. Gabe, this is similar to that one trade where I let it hit the stop that I'd have and then get in on the pop through.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you gotta let it stop you out metaphorically first,
Yeah. Because
then
now
enter.
we're seeing a higher low here as it's getting back above. We know that we have the buyers truly trying on that reclaim acceptance above 68.78. Look at these limit
Oh,
orders that appear.
I don't like the disappearing though.
Yeah, me neither.
Yep. All right, we're in.
I would
I
get
don't. I don't know, man. I don't know if I would have got in this. Oh, maybe I would. It just seems like the selling was more aggressive than the buying is. You can get it on the retest too.
I don't think I have the VX at this point. What time was it? 7:34. Damn, I didn't even have any resistance or anything. VX would scare me.
Yeah.
But I mean, the main thing is the way the structure was forming here. This was the first time we actually seen buyers um, making like showing their presence and being in control. Then we get a break of low a day, and for it to instantly get back above that consolidation low, we have to internalize that that is uh like buyers getting pushing back higher. Plus the LVN that we seen down there, this is definitely like a scary trade to take, but if you can internalize the structure that's occurring here and be like, okay, we broke low a day, now we're reclaiming back above. Because if sellers were truly in control, what we had been seeing the whole time was once they break that low, they just keep pushing lower.
Yeah.
But in this case, they break the low and then buyers pull back up. CBD makes a higher low. And previously, they would break and then CBD would keep falling with it. This is the first time we get that consolidation. So you just really have to, like I said, internalize what structure is forming here. I'm wondering if above 68.80, anything, any limit orders appear on a pullback. I mean, these appear. Ooh, that's scary. You got in on that.
I feel like falling knife days are just going to be annoying days to try to find a setup. It might be good to just walk away.
I mean, definitely when the falling knife days occur, you're gonna be emotional because it's just gonna be falling and you're gonna have zones that just are breaking. And if you took a trade prior in a different zone prior to where it makes the low a day, uh, you're gonna be frustrated. I see that happen. Even Carmine says it happens to him a lot on falling knife days because we focus on reversals so much. On falling knife days, we feel like we're missing out on a large move, but it's just part of the way we trade. But if you could be patient, there's an opportunity. At some point, you just gotta wait. And just remember, I feel like on falling knife days, this structure that we're seeing here is exactly what happens at the lows. It consolidates, breaks the low a day, and then manages to get back above, and that's when the rally begins. You just got to be able to time that. But that's basically this move. So I mean, for this day, I would say the lesson for me at least was seeing how the pops were aggressively getting sold all morning. Every time they would just get slammed down. That was a sign to be cautious on reversing the market. And then once it did get back to these lows, being patient for that consolidation and then a low at daybreak and then the pop back up.
Yeah.
That's basically that one.
End this video.